Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the worlds of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations because we're breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned in to a live tarot throw. Today is January 26th, 2026. And I've got your tarological forecast for the upcoming work week, getting ready to go on the tarot table below. Also today, we're going to examine some passages from the book, The Convoluted Autobiography. There's a fresh copy right down there, ladies and gentlemen, next to my other book, Let's Go Off Planet with Breakaway Ray. Both of these books are linked in the description. Anyway, this is my working copy. I got a couple of passages I'm going to read today. So I expect that we're going to get to tarot readings for the audience, the second part of the show, in maybe about 35 minutes. Might be a long show today. We're going to be talking about the gray rock method, and then we're going to be revisiting my spirit guide, and we're going to portray him as the hero that he is. And then we're going to talk about the dangers of people who throw cards on the internet. I'm feeling pretty dangerous myself. Let's not wait any longer. You can't wait. I can't wait. Let's go to the tarot cam. Thanks for joining me, everybody, whether you're catching this live or on the recording. And if you would like a reading for the second part of the show, you could type in all capital letters, tarot, please. And then in about 35 minutes, I'm going to check the chat and find out what's going on. All right, we got your tarological forecast coming at you. We're going to throw 5 pairs of cards, 2 for each day of the work week. I have pre-shuffled the cards before we turned on the camera in the interest of saving time, which was a good idea because, like I say, this might be a little bit longer of a show. So we have the Robin Hood deck here, and we're going to use these to draw the pairs. And then I've got the Ethereal Bloom deck here, and whatever this top card is, we're going to use it like a prism as a general theme for the week for us to study. All right, here we go, everybody. I want to say good morning and thank you to the tarot world. The tarot world's quite a celebrity, always entertaining us and providing a lot of magic. Here we go, 5 pairs of cards for our upcoming work week. And that one wanted to come out. Here we go. I got one more. All right, we got our 5 pairs drawn. And now let's take a look at the top card from the Ethereal Bloom. Oh, let me get my lights right. Hang on, everybody. Can we go with that? There we go. I just don't like the glare. All right, so here we go. Ethereal Bloom deck. Give us a theme, give us a prism through which we can look at these pairs of cards, please. Nice. The 8 of Wands. This looks, from the Ethereal Bloom deck, the 8 of Wands looks so much more fun. You got some tiki torches there, maybe. That's a little bit what I'm thinking about. We're lighting things on fire. We're using our imagination to do that. You know, the 8 of Wands is my card that says, as much as you can imagine. As much as you can imagine. And I think that's part of the theme of today's show because our imagination is so powerful. You might have to reflect on that after you watch the whole show, if you do watch the whole show. Thanks for being here. I'm just glad you're catching any of this. I know the tarot world wants you to see this message. You know, the whole thing is as much as you can imagine. Make it your best. Here we go. On Monday, that's today. Oh, man, look at that. That card looks like he wants to come out. Let's visit that one last, shall we? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, is it Monday morning, everybody? We got the 5 of Pentacles as we walk to work. But the 3 of Wands tells us we're looking forward to the week. You know, maybe on the inside, we feel like these poor guys, you know, feeling destitute, abandoned, struggling into the office after the weekend, a little roughed up. But you know what? That's on the inside, because on the outside, you know, you look like a superhero. You're the scout and you're looking forward to how you're going to progress this week. Nice. As much as you can imagine. So let's get this done like this because, yeah, everyone's looking here first. You're keeping this inside, right? All right, so next, wow, check that out. Did I get them all wrong? I got it all wrong. Hang on a second, everybody. All right, I'm going to have to go back to the Ethereal Bloom deck. I got the wrong suit. All right. So first of all, on Tuesday, check it out. On Tuesday, there's a pair of cards, the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Cups. The Nine of Swords tells us about anxiety, like sleepless nights. And the Eight of Cups says, it's time to walk away. Even if everyone else thinks it looks good or once looked good to you, it's not that good anymore. So that's pretty simple. That's a simple equation. Something bothering you, don't even give it a second thought. Hoof it. All right, let's go back to the Eight of Wands here. So the Eight of Wands guy, that's speed, that's flight, that's easy. All right, so the Eight of Wands, excuse me, everybody. I've only been throwing tarot cards since March, and I'm so happy that I caught this. So the Eight of Wands indicates flight, it indicates travel, and it also indicates it's happening really soon. Well, this might indicate simple timing, everybody. Usually I get out your tarological forecast a little bit sooner. I'm not saying I'm doing it in a hurry, but I got it out to you just in time. Here you go. Here come the messages. Just in time to start the work week. Are you feeling bedraggled going into the office? Nobody else knows but you. Okay? On Tuesday, something bothering you? Walk away. Don't give it a second thought. On Wednesday, yeah, check that out. You got the High Priestess and the Fool. So you're using your sacred knowledge in a secret and powerful way that nobody knows about. But meanwhile, you're just smiling, you're resting, have a nice day face, walking around the office, and you got a fresh start every day. After all, you did walk away, whatever was bothering, once you let that go, you're feeling fresh and new like the Fool, and you're probably feeling beautiful and powerful like the High Priestess. Let's put that over there. Yeah, we can still see it. Come on. There we go. All right, let's go to Thursday's cards. I love it. The King of Swords says, you're on the path for truth. And you've got the Temperance card showing that you've got balance. I want to say, in lots of ways, you look like the movie character James Bond would when he goes into a new situation and he pretends like he's undercover, okay? But the fact is, you're on a mission. You're doing things right. You got everything going your way because you're following the truth. And everyone else just sees that you're super balanced. Okay. And then, hey, ladies and gentlemen, may I suggest that when you look that good, just like in a movie with James Bond, someone's going to try to take you down. I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm not reading too much into it. But anyway, you're looking good, feeling good on Thursday, and on Friday, nice. All right. So I like this message on Friday. You have the Ten of Swords and the Hermit card. The Ten of Swords and the Hermit card. The Ten of Swords says it's the end of a painful episode. It's the end of your work week. And now you're all excited because now you have the weekend to refresh. And then if I may be so bold, maybe to turn inward a little bit more. I mean, after all, you got some good magic going here. Okay. You might get to explore it a little bit more. Pull out that journal, write some notes. What's on your mind on Saturday morning after you have your coffee? Hey, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that tarological forecast. Thanks a lot for participating. Oh, wait. This guy wanted to talk to us. All right, so the Eight of Wands says, it's happening right away. This is your work week. Okay, that's a timing card. Yay, everybody. No wonder it wanted to come out. It's the Sun card. Everything's going to be all right at the end of the week. That's a great promise. I'm going to read from the Robin Wood Tarot Guidebook on the Sun for you, okay? Let's read about the Sun. This book just gives quick little glimpses of the cards. The Sun. Accomplishment, success, material happiness, a good marriage, pleasure, joy, liberation, freedom, and contentment. Yeah, isn't that nice, everybody? Way to go, Tarot World. That was awesome. Magic every time we toss them, everybody. Let me give these a shuffle, and then I'll come upstairs and say hi and give you some announcements and get into my spiel today. All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Tarot World. Making me look good. That was pretty cool. All right, everybody. I'm going to come upstairs now. There we go. Hey, everyone. All right. So I would like to call everyone's attention to the description today. I'll be talking about some of the notes I put in there. I copy and paste a document, and that's how I'm able to do it for all my videos. We have more than 170 videos up at StarCard Podcast. Hope you're exploring the playlist and having a good time. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. So here's the deal. We're going to throw tarot cards for the audience. I see some people in the chat have already followed the instructions. You're typing in all capital letters, tarot, please. We're going to get to your readings. It might be in about a half an hour. You might have caught me on a long day today because I'll be reading from the book, as I mentioned. And then I've got a couple of things that I want to share. And I feel like that it all kind of goes together. So let me adjust my screen real. Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. All right. So in the description, you'll find links to the 2 books that I published, which I mentioned earlier. But then guess what? I know that some people were kind of following along with Breakaway Ray. I finally figured out the payment button. So I have the Breakaway Pay link at the description at StarCard Podcast and also in the video description. So everything's for free, everybody. I haven't charged anybody anything, and but now I finally can accept a donation if anyone felt so inclined. I'm not requesting it. I'm not requiring it. It's up to you. Obviously, we're getting more out of it, right, than just the financial thing. I'm still having fun. You're still tuning in. But anyway, if there's anyone who wants to, I just want you to know the payment link is now available. That's like a big deal to me because it took me a long time to do. I had to spend a couple hours on the computer yesterday, and it's been like a couple of weeks. It shouldn't have taken that long. Anyway, we're all done. It's good. It's all right. All right. So wanted to mention that part. Now, what else have I got? Okay. So like I mentioned, I have the description. It's already prepared. It's a copy paste thing. And then before I ever turn on the camera, I make notes in case you're new here. So I've got like a couple of notes I wanted to share. And I will be discussing the character James Bond again. Good. We're staying with the theme. So one of the things I want to do is I want to minimize my window. I got another window standing by, which has some things that I screenshot off the internet. Check this out. Here we go. All right. So part of my title today talks about the dangers of internet tarot card throwers. And the only danger really is that, when we're watching the internet, we're in a relaxed state. We're ready for programming. We are in a trance. So we do have to be careful with what we take in, right? We have to, take it in and then separate that trance-like state and then reevaluate it. I'd like to remind people, in case you never heard this story, that they say that in ancient Greece, the citizens who were all men, and I think they were all landholders or whatever in Athens there, they would examine an issue, something that they were really concerned about, and they would discuss it in their democratic way in a great forum. And then after they made a decision, they would proceed to get a lot of their Greek containers of wine. I forgot all the names of those things, those giant carafes, those vases, those urns. No, sorry, not urns. Beg your pardon. See, I should have tried that. I get my vocabulary confused there. So anyway, the point is, after they discuss it rationally and make a decision as a team, then they proceed to get drunk, and then they reevaluate it while they're in a different state of mind. I don't know if that story is true, and I also wonder why I would ever share that story with students in elementary school, but I know that I did. So anyway, if you're ready for programming because you're listening to my voice, I'm happy to share this with you. This came from Psychological Book. I happen to have the name there, and it says here, things to tell yourself every day. So, put this on play, put a bookmark on this time spot. Here you go. Here's Breakaway Ray telling you what Psychological Book says you need to tell yourself every day. Number 1, I am the best. Number 2, I can do anything. Number 3, my future is bright. Number 4, I am getting better each day. Number 5, I will work hard. Number 6, no excuses. Number 7, life is precious. Number 8, I was born to do great things. And number 9, people's opinions don't affect me. All right, so I want to revisit a couple, right? I want to practice discernment here. I want to think about what I just communicated to you and even to my own subconscious. Number 4, there's a very famous motivational speaker and writer named Wayne Dyer. I think it's Wayne Dyer. I'm pretty sure that if you try to type it into your browser, it would correct the spelling. But that's one of the first things I ever heard from this man was like, every time you go to bed at night, you say to yourself, things are getting better every day. Every single day, things get better and better. You'd be surprised how that makes you feel when you wake up in the morning. And then number 5 says, I will work hard. Okay, so like I had an issue with that. I've worked hard enough in my life, okay? I don't want to spin my wheels, and I don't want to burn my energy if I don't have to. I need to be more efficient. I need to work smarter, not harder. One of the ways to do that, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already heard, is to get aligned with your soul's path. If you're following your soul's path, then you don't have to cut all the branches of trees and grass and tread a new path, right? Your soul's path is already paved for you. It's much easier just to follow your soul's path. Good luck finding out what your soul's path is. Okay, I say that because like mine has been a decades-long search, right? Okay, and then what's the other one I like? Yeah, no excuses. There really aren't, are there? Anyway, and then people's opinions don't affect me. That's worth thinking about and discussing maybe in another show. All right, so now I'm going to check my notes real quick and see where I am. Okay, I think I know where I am now. I had to get another screen for you, everybody. Check this out. All right, let me see if I got this right. All right. Well, some time ago, I didn't zoom it in the way I wanted to. Hang on, everybody. Oh, yeah, you can't see it anyway. It doesn't matter. So this one came from someone named Akarsh Kumar, A-K-A-R-S-H, K-U-M-A-R. I'm going to give this person credit because I took a screenshot of a reel off of Facebook. And here's a very short explanation of how to go about using the gray rock technique, which I mentioned in previous podcasts. I'm going to explore it more again today, because not everyone's seen all 170 videos already so far. So check this out. This is the gray rock method. This is for like if you're around people that might be perceived as being toxic. And I just like the way that this is presented. So there's 5 points. Here we go. First, be boring. When they try to provoke you, show zero emotion. Be as interesting as a gray rock. Number 2, one-word answers. Okay, maybe, I see. Don't explain and don't defend. Number 3, don't ask questions. Asking, how are you, invites them to dump their drama on you. Number 4, stick to facts. If they lie, state the fact once, then stop talking. Arguing fuels them. And finally, why it works. Toxic people need drama like a fire needs oxygen. If you cut the oxygen, which is emotion, the fire dies. Now, those are great tips. That's a great explanation for how to execute gray rock. And I want to wish everyone luck, because if you're practicing gray rock, there's a lot of stuff that you have to endure and go through and navigate through, there's more to it, right? There's very little that the person who's being or behaving in a toxic manner can even do to control themselves. Anyway, not to get too far along on that, let me see what else I've got here. All right, so what I do have now is an excerpt from the book, The Convoluted Autobiography, where I hired my friend, Psychic Liz Cross, and she took a little peek at the dynamics at the workplace where I was, and she gives a nice picture of how my examples of gray rock, whether or not they were effective. Check this out. Here we go. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to read. This is from the chapter called The Epilogue with Psychic Liz Cross. It's at the back of the book. And, well, I'm showing you something that's hard for you to see. I'm just going to be reading a short paragraph here. But, again, this is a STARCARD podcast, and I'm also the writer of books, and I'm a performer and a presenter. I'm trying to keep these themes, these thought-provoking themes, with lots of extra examples, things to, that you can think about as well. So anyway, I appreciate your attention. And if you're watching the recording and you want to fast forward to the tarot readings, again, when you see the camera go down to the table, then I'm throwing tarot cards again. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. So here we go. Okay. This is what Psychic Liz Cross said about my behavior amongst my peers at the school where I used to work. You don't play their games. You don't feed into their BS. You're not on the gossip machine. Like, you're not in the rumor mill. You just do what you have to do, and that really bothers them. Ray laughs. Really, so much. It's like they can't get you to be part of whatever game it is they're playing. As if teaching isn't hard enough. Come on. Why do you have to do this BS and play games and backstab and talk? I'm getting that so strongly. And they do like to be top dog. I mean, I just feel that you never gave in to them. You wouldn't even bat an eyelid at whatever scheme they were conjuring up, because they always have to have some target. Ray laughs again. They always do. All right. So I believe I've read that passage before on a different STARCARD podcast, but not a lot of us see the end result. There's like no party. There's no ticker tape parade because you had to show gray rock. But I just created my ticker tape parade because I wrote that book. I interviewed with Psychic Liz Cross. I got the information. I didn't prompt her about any of this stuff. And it all matches up, doesn't it? So it tells me, if all this information seems to be lining up, is somebody like on his soul's path? Am I heading in the right direction? So I'm happy to share that with you. Have hope. If you have to show gray rock, I just want to say, have hope. Okay. Now, it's one thing to have hope, and then it's another thing to have hope. And then guess what? What are we having hope for? It looks like more challenges keep coming our way. And so now I'm going to transition from that to the next theme of my presentation. Let's see which one I've got here. Right. Okay. Well, everybody, when I throw the tarot cards, and maybe you also watch other people throw tarot cards. I guess throwing tarot cards is like a novel expression. I didn't realize that I had coined it or anything. Maybe there are other people who use that expression. I thought I'd heard that expression. I'm proud to use. That's pretty much what I'm doing, right? I'm just throwing cards and making up stories. Right? Okay, so anyway, when you throw the tarot cards and you read the message, the tarot cards are designed and structured so well that there's always like a positive framework from which to work from, right? They're not just gonna the tarot cards are not gonna come in and like dump on you and point out all the problems in your life that you could recognize, right? They're gonna give you something to build on. That's what the star card's all about. And you saw the way the sun card came out. at that first reading that we did at the beginning of the show. Okay, right? The tarot world's rooting us on. It's always there to remind us that everything's going to be okay. Are you done with your challenges? Probably not. If you're watching StarCard podcast, you're probably wondering when the challenges are going to stop. But anyway, let's all hold hands together and see what we can figure out together, okay? All right, so I want to mention that part. The tarot world has its own perspective. It's way above. They see the timeline of our lives. You think I've had it with this situation right here, but you didn't act. You didn't make a decision in which you could go down a different path. And so they're just sitting up there waiting for you to follow your path, like rats in a lab maze, right? That doesn't sound too cool with that. But really, it's almost like the same thing. When you consider the tarot world's perspective versus ours, we really are, rats in a lab, a laboratory maze. Anyway, so here's the next thing I want to share. I always had on my description a link to Rebecca Rose. She has a podcast called Sirius Blue. Rebecca Rose is a secret space program experiencer, and she was interviewing another secret space program experiencer, Chris O'Connor. I've talked about this interview before, and I'm bringing it up again. There was good information in there, so I brought it up to the top of my featured video description list there. You can check it out. So one of the things that Chris O'Connor explains is that when you approach Saturn's moon Mimas, M-I-M-A-S, when you approach Saturn's moon Mimas, okay, you see, a rocky moon. But there's some science that exists already, which we're not told about. But in any case, when you're flying your spaceship over to Saturn's moon, Mimas, okay, you hit a button and it elevates your density, okay, so that you're looking at it in a different way. And then you realize that Saturn's moon, Mimas, is like a constructed it's a structure, and there's a spaceport in there, and it's like a habitation. So, it all depends on how you look at things. I mean, we can make this very simple, everybody. If you're watching StarCard podcast, you probably buy into the secret space program. All right, well, here we are on surface planet Earth. We're looking up at the moon. Looks like a big rock in the sky. We're not supposed to ask any questions. We already know what's going on up there. We know. All right, that's kind of what I'm talking about, having a different perspective, right? Okay. All right, so I think I get to go now and talk about my spirit guide. All right, so before I ever really met any of my spirit guides, either by meeting with a psychic who told me about my spirit guides, or by going under QHHT, quantum hypnosis healing therapy, or hypnosis. Yeah, I got it right. Dolores Cannon, QHHT, you could look it up, okay? I used my imagination, and I started writing what would eventually be the Convoluted Autobiography. And I needed a spirit guide. I had never heard of a spirit guide. Okay, I was raised Roman Catholic. I even got the sacrament of confirmation, right? You want a spirit guide? There's Jesus. He's got some friends called some saints. You can call up those guys. Okay, but anyway, I had never heard of a spirit guide before, and so I had to explore that idea. One way to do that was to write a story, because I'm also a playwright. And usually, like, dialogue comes very easy to me. And then I learned later on that apparently I have some clairaudience going on. Anyway, so what I did was I chose a spirit guide, and for whatever reason, not going to get into it too much, it ended up being in the form of the actor Pierce Brosnan in his role as James Bond in the James Bond movies. And there's a James Bond movie, I think it was from the 1980s probably. It was called, I think it's Die Another Day. It's when the guy has that laser. There's always like some kind of space laser. Anyway, he's like aiming at Korea, and he's trying to start a war or whatever. It's the guy that does a little face off. He goes and has plastic surgery. It's the one with Halle Berry. He goes to Cuba and he gets his DNA changed. So he looks different. Anyway, it's the one with Halle Berry. And anyway, at the beginning of that movie, they have the opening James Bond sequence, right? And it was a very different James Bond sequence. I've seen Roger Moore ski off a mountain with a parachute when guys are chasing him, okay? How about, Roger Moore jumping out of a plane and beating up a guy and stealing his parachute? That was awesome. I was a big fan of Roger Moore. That's why I can't figure out why I picked Pierce Brosnan. I'm all Roger Moore was the man. But anyway, this was a case in which James Bond, there was no easy exit. He didn't have his watch with him like Sean Connery did to get out of that situation in Goldfinger with the laser coming up the table and he's strapped to the table. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm talking about the episode at the very beginning where he's actually, going undercover and they're abducting someone and replacing him with James Bond. And anyway, he's found out his cover's blown as soon as he lands to buy weapons or whatever. And then he's got to improvise and he's truly James Bond or whatever. And he gets in, it's so awesome. He gets in one of those big hovercrafts and they have like congratulations to, the James Bond team. That was a great one. The big hovercrafts and the big fight scene, the big chase scene. Anyway, you might remember if you saw the movie that it ends when James Bond grabs onto the rope of a bell and his hovercraft goes off a cliff and so does the bad guys. And he drops to the ground and he says, saved by the bell. That's a great line. That was like one of the funniest things I'd ever heard James Bond say before. And he said some great things. So anyway, at that point, he does get captured by the bad guys. All right. We've already had like so much action already. How does he get out of this one? Well, it takes a while. So I'm going to go now to my book, which is where we pick up the action. James Bond is in prison, in some kind of Korean prison, and he's being tortured. And then what I do is I take that part of the movie and I bring it into my story because he's my spirit guide. So he leaves my body and he goes to a meeting to find out blah, blah, blah about Breakaway Ray. All right, so here I go. I'm going to go down. How am I doing on time? Yeah, it's going to be a long show, everybody, but we're almost there. Here we go. Some people have bought the book and they want to hear Breakaway Ray read his words. All right, here I go. This is from the Convoluted Autobiography. Oh, that's not the one. This is from the Convoluted Autobiography. This chapter is called Tomorrow is Another Ray. In another pocket of reality, there was Pierce, imprisoned in Asia, evidently as helpless as one can be. Routine beatings and waterboardings, injections to incapacitate his body and to infiltrate his mind. Apparently, the torture included playing music sung by Madonna. In his cell, during spells of isolation, part of Pierce applied for help to a higher power and anyone coming into knowledge of Pierce's experience. And those that were part of the team protecting him sent love and support to him. While I wish I could say soon help was arranged, it did take 14 Earth months. After a prisoner exchange in a demilitarized zone, Pierce was quickly put under with another injection, this time from the very people he worked for and who had rescued him. And while Pierce was under, his consciousness floated above the scene the way you do in a dream. He saw his body below being taken away on a cart by a group of soldiers, government men, and agents in hazmat suits. He floated higher and lost sight of the scene as he raced into space, or a space. The sky into which Pierce had floated became outer space, and then no space, it seemed. Presently, he was strolling, suitably dressed and clean-shaven, as if it was just another day at the office, across a floor concealed by clouds and lit up with a lunar-like bioluminescence. Pierce was surrounded by a night sky whose stars subtly extinguished as he approached a door. Pierce passed through the door into a familiar office where the woman behind the desk, a friend of his since he started working there, instructed him to proceed into the adjoining office where he was expected. Of course, Pierce is now in a non-Earth realm, and this reality he is entertaining is a type of mask used for communication. Pierce is now in a realm where time is not really a thing, where the interaction with others is more or less telepathic and instant, and the meeting about to take place has been transposed from those dynamics into this set of words and sentences, creating images in this density for the purpose of transmitting a story to you, dear reader. All right. I always like that one. And then I think, yeah, back to Psychic Liz Cross. She shares with me what my spirit guide thinks about the book I'm writing and the scenes that include him. Let me see if I've got it here. I think I lost the page. Yeah, that's, it was a good try, but she does mention it. And apparently the spirit guide enjoyed my presentation of him. But just to be clear, I never said anything about Pierce Brosnan or James Bond, and Psychic Liz Cross never reflected that back to me. But she did say, I questioned. I said, so this spirit guide likes the story that I'm writing, and this is just a character that I imagined. And Psychic Liz Cross corrected me, and she said, no, you didn't imagine it. You sensed that he was really there, and that's the character that you built upon. All right. Thank you, Psychic Liz Cross. I guess it's just as well that I didn't find that spot in the book. All right. So now, what have I got here? Yeah. All right. So that's one of the things I wanted to point out. Like when they rescued Pierce, right, from that prison after 14 months, that was a long wait. You're praying for a long time. You're meditating for a long time to get help. And that was one thing that the James Bond character did, right? He didn't have a watch. He didn't have a gadget. He didn't have an instant extract. He had meditation. That was all he had. It protected him from the pain. And then eventually he was able to use that to escape. He had to escape from the people who, had rescued him. If you remember that part of the movie, he was in a hospital bed, but it was like a protected with plexiglass, and there was a lock. And then he used meditation to alter his body dynamics. He slowed down his heart, and then they had to open the door so that he could be rescued from having a heart attack, cardiac arrest, but really it was just a trick. Anyway, you should watch the movie. It's a lot of fun. And anyway, on his way out the door, he's all, I'm checking out. All right. But then you think, great, but he's not done. You still have an hour left of the movie. That guy, why did you rescue him? Just so you could go through more of that stuff, more obstacles, more challenges, more adventures? Doesn't that sound familiar, everybody? You just get past something and it doesn't seem like the universe is done. Here, have some more. Clean this one up. Go for this. Catch this. Juggle that. All right. Wanted to point all those things out to you because those are things that were on my mind. All right. So now, we talked about the tarot cards. Let's see if I got this right. I'm going to go back to the tarot card throwers for a moment. And I want to thank you again if you're still tuning in. Here I go. I wrote some really good sentences, so I'm going to read them so that we can get things going here. All right. I watch, as I've mentioned before, I've watched only 2 people who also throw tarot cards. I don't need to watch a bunch of other people. And apparently, evidently, it's very clear these 2 people, these ladies, are channelers. So they don't just read the tarot cards. They really are channeling. And it really seems like sometimes they're like saying my name. They're talking about my podcast and the subject that I cover. And I think it's interesting because, even one of them, even though it might be a general reading, sometimes this one lady will say, this is for one person. This one person needs to hear this message. And it's so funny because thousands of people comment back and say, thank you. That's exactly right. That's for me. Right. And it doesn't seem like that ought to be like matching up that way. But I guess if you consider the internet is available to, 7 billion people or whatever, and, you might have several thousand people throwing tarot cards, that affords everybody to match up with whatever combination of energies works for them. So maybe she's speaking to one person, 1 out of every 10,000 people, 1 out of 120,000 people. Maybe that's what's going on. I'm just playing some math here, right? Okay. But, there's so many people who may not be in that situation. Maybe they're not the person, but, they're hearing that message and they're thinking, oh, is it me? Am I destined for great things? Is this really going to be a great week? All of a sudden, their face changes, their eyes light up. These are positive messages. It's wonderful when you, how many of you miss your parents saying, good job, getting in your face, giving you a hug. And now here you are on the computer and, you you got somebody like me, like some other tarot card thrower, some other inspirational speaker, someone pumping you up saying, yo, you're awesome. Don't give up now. You just got started. Don't let all that work go to waste. Keep it going. Don't let that stuff bother you. What are you worried about? You're the best. Okay. Anyway, let me continue. I got some more. Yeah, I got that part right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So here are some of the messages that I get. And it's probably not going to surprise you that I wrote these messages down, right? It's not going to surprise you to hear that Breakaway Ray thought that these messages were for him. Check this out. You are meant to have a rich, full life, not just to live and be happy, but wealth and fame. You are God's secret weapon. You're here on a mission. Yeah. Doesn't that pump you up, everybody? We can all think that way. You might as well. You got one day to live. Make it your best. That's something else I used to say when I was a teacher for more than 3 decades. I'd see a kid on the sidewalk. We're going to class or whatever. But hey, I haven't seen you. I'm stepping all over him. Pretend like I had the kid in my class, and like a couple years later, I bump into him. Like, hey, Jimmy, have a great 5th grade. You got one chance at 5th grade. Make it your best, right? You got one Monday, everybody. Make it your best, right? All right. So let's see if I got all my notes covered here. Yeah, you know what I was going to do? I was going to take a tarot deck. Let's do the Robin Hood. I was going to take a tarot deck and then pretend like I'm one of those tarot card throwers that I watch and get you pumped up the way I can. Like watch. I mean, again, if you're aiming high and being positive and being enthusiastic and being rejuvenated, you could pump yourself up. Okay, so first up, we're going to need a little bit of light here. What am I doing? Yeah, do it this way. Look at that, everybody. I just cut the deck and I got the Emperor. You're in control. This is like not even fair. The tarot world is like sitting here with me, helping me write my script. You're totally in control. You could choose if you want to be happy, right? Oh, wow, we got the Emperor. Okay, what happens next? Let's fan a little bit. What's next? Oh, the 4 of Pentacles. We got to hold on to what's valuable. I'm noticing how the pentacle matches the lights on the tree behind me there. We could look at the shiny things. Let's prize what shines. There we go. Let's prize what shines. We don't have to look around for shadows. Look for the light. Follow your soul's path. Ooh, let's get another card. I'm just going to throw these on the table here and just pull one out. Just wow, check that out. Be strong, everybody. It's the strength card. When you're on your soul's path and you're prizing what shines, you're totally in control. And so to close the message, go for it, everybody. It's a Knight of Wands. Charge forward, be enthusiastic. And then check this out. No, let's not check it out. Well, okay, we will check it out. I had some cards that flipped over when I went to pick up the Knight of Wands. And look at this message that just showed up. Okay. Love it. Well, let's start right here. Oh, it's the 9 of Wands guy. Are you feeling tired out? Yeah, but look what you survived and look at what you got. Experience counts, everybody. So guess what? The 2 of Wands says you got a good plan. The universe likes your plan. The universe likes your life plan. So keep going. You got the green light. Go forward. And then remember that your life's plan and your opportunity on surface planet Earth is a Page of Pentacles presenting you with with the gift of life. Don't forget to be appreciative of everything that the universe brings you. All right, so that's going to be my tarot throw. That's good enough for me, everybody. I mean, that's hardly dangerous at all if you're focusing on the positive and you're prizing what shines, okay? If you're going to watch all the programs that have the shadowy stuff in it, don't forget to follow it up with something that pumps you up. Come back to StarCard Podcast. Go see my stand-up comedy ones. Go check out the Tarotpedia. And then I'd like to mention, well, it's not in this description this time, but I think everyone will remember that we covered the Little Shaman and we followed it up with Marianne Esposito from Ciao, Italia, the lady who cooks Italian food. All right, everybody. So now I'm going to visit the people in the chat and we're going to find out who wants a reading. 44 minutes, that's pretty good. I did all right. All right. First, I want to say hi to some friends, and then we'll because I already have name tags for some people. Okay, so who's here today? Hey, Derek. Hi, Desiree. Woo Rider Dog. All right. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Let's see who else is here. Hello, Melissa. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Lisa Talcott. All right. Let's see who's here. Hey, Julie Anchorhaven. All right. Arizona Raven. Good morning. Who else is here? Hi, Namira. I see you. Thanks for joining us. And Kimberly Bamford. Wow. All my star students are here. Well, all right. So let me get out some of the name tags that I have, and I think I need to make one for Melissa. All right, Julia, Arizona Raven. Whoops. Namira. Who am I looking for? Oh, yeah. Kimberly Bamford. Lisa Talcott. All right. Did I miss anyone? All right. So I got to make one for Melissa. Oh, wow. I didn't even show everyone the decks yet, huh? So let me show everyone the decks, and then I'm going to make a schoolhouse for Melissa, and then I'll do a better job of figuring out what's going on with everyone's tarot requests. You know what? You're going to have to excuse me. I'm going to take one of my timeouts. All right. As Bender the robot from Futurama would say, I'm back, baby. Let's take a look at the tarot decks, shall we? Whoa. All right. So I have a Rider-Waite deck called the Classic Deck, and it's the one with the words on it, and that's the one I use to get extra information right away. You learn how to do tarot really quickly with a deck like that. Then I have one called the Old Style Tarot. I have the Ethereal Bloom Tarot, which we already played with. I have the Stained Glass Tarot. I have one called, I could just leave it here, the Lost Soul Tarot. And then these are two different foil decks that are like the Rider-Waite Classic. So we have what I call the dark foil, a little bit richer color, darker image. Wow, the card looks really great right there. And then I have the lighter version right here. Whoops. That's why I don't play with these cards so much. They really are viscous and slippery, but they're a lot of fun. They're very beautiful. That's very beautiful just on the back, even without the colors of the other one. And then there's a nice world card for you. A little bit lighter image. Okay, a couple of holograms. Hologram decks. A Neon Tarot. We've already seen this one. The Mermaid Tarot and the 88 Gemstones. Yeah, 88 Gemstones. Gold on a dark card. And there's your world card there. Sweet. I am so blessed and fortunate to get to play with cards like this on the internet. All right. So you let me know if you have a deck that you prefer, everybody. All right. So I've got Lisa Talcott and Kimberly Bamford and Amira and Julia and Arizona Raven. Oh, I don't have one for Derek either. I don't know. So like I'm going to make one for you, everybody, because I'm presuming that you want a reading. And if you don't want me to read, go ahead and let me know in the chat. Oh, there you go, Melissa. Right on. You know what's going on. Let me write one for Melissa. All right, Mermaid. All right, I'm checking your requests, everybody. All right, so I got Namira. Oh, good. Arizona Raven put a list for me. Lisa Talcott, foil deck. Got it. Thanks, Arizona Raven. Kimberly, neon deck. Got it. Hey, Lisa, I'm going to throw the light foil unless you change my mind. You want a dark foil? What else I got here from this list? Neon deck. Am I getting confused here? No. Kimberly, neon deck. Okay. And we got to get, I got Melissa taken care of. Good. And I want one for Derek. Yeah, right on, Lisa. I see your message. Thanks. There we go. So I got one for Derek. If he wants one, I might throw anyway. I don't know. I'm happy you all could join me. Thanks very much. Thanks for tuning in to StarCard Podcast. All right, so I'm gonna, yeah. I'm gonna throw for Melissa first. I'm gonna put these cards on deck for later. Here we go. All right, here we go. Hang on, Ray. All right, sorry for the delay, everybody. I'm trying to get situated. Melissa, one of the mermaid deck. All right, let's unbox. Wow, look at this fantastic book that I never read. All right, good choice of decks, the mermaid cards are very inspiring. Great art. So I see that Flixlove just joined the party. I want to be ready, so I'm going to get Flixlove's nameplate out here. Just a minute, please. There we go. I mean, this is Flixlove's right here. Okay. So putting you in the pile. Great. All right. So here we go, Melissa. Thanks a lot for inviting me to read, Melissa. The Tarot World can't wait to share this message with you. It's going to be fun with these mermaid cards. All right. These cards are for Melissa. How about a fun, inspiring message for Melissa, please? Thank you very much. These cards are for Melissa. These cards are for Melissa. All right, Melissa, this is for entertainment purposes only. Oh, look, these guys want to come out too. All right. We got a lot to say today. Here we go. We got our work cut out for us. Here we go. Let me make sure I got my light the way I like it. All right. So we have down here, these two cards wanted to come out. The Tower and the Devil card. The Tower and the Devil card. And they're actually part of a numerical sequence. The Devil is number 15 in the major arcana, and it's followed by the Tower, which is number 16. So it looks like at the whatever the adventure is of these cards that we're going to read, something's going to be let go, and then, you know, an old structure that doesn't need to be around anymore is finally going to collapse. And that's going to be a good thing. This is a good thing. We're letting something go. You know, it's going to be good to let this creature, this mermaid, go, right? We can agree. So it's good to let it go. And it's actually good, you know, because now that boat is not, I'm sorry, that building is not going to be a threat to boats sailing by. You know, it's time for it to crumble and decompose and return to the earth. Okay? Return to source, as it were. You got a lot of cards here, Melissa. Let's have some fun. Here we go. First up, it's the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. Check out that volcano. You're not worried about a volcano because you got a good plan, a good escape plan. And the universe likes your plan, and the universe is giving you the green light. It's time to go. That's what that smoke means. Maybe there really is like an impetus, some kind of thing. You need to get going on something. I mean, that's a volcano exploding. All right, what's next? Strength. You're just strong enough to handle this. Look at you. You're tackling a whale. All right, I'm kidding. You're not tackling a whale. You're helping a whale. But anyway, there's the strength card. It's almost like an exclamation point. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, you've been training for this race for a long time. Here we go. Next up, the Judgment card. You know, it talks about swapping out the old and bringing in the new, which sounds like what's happening down here with the Devil card. Okay, swapping out the old and bringing in the new. I won't be surprised if we see the Eight of Wands again. But the thing is, this is a good thing. You know, if we're pretending that this is a race, you're leaving everybody in your dust. Wow, you must have really trained well. You're ahead of the game. Okay, so next, the Nine of Pentacles. Did I just say you really trained well? The Nine of Pentacles says the fruits of your labor. This is the optimum time to go for it. Yeah, you're all set up. You're ready to go. What, you got like a new career? I'm jealous, and congratulations. Next up, it's the Six of Wands, the public recognition. Hey, congratulations on your new job, your new whatever it is. You jumped at the right time. Everyone can tell. Everyone can see what happened. Everyone could, like, there are guys running behind you. They're all, I know exactly who's in front of me. I recognize that number. All right, but anyway, it finishes with, whoa, you are so stoked. The Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. Sorry, the Page of Pentacles. I beg your pardon. The Page of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. I want to point out on the Six of Swords how much fun it is to have a seal used as a dog sled on the ice. That sounds like a lot of fun. But anyway, the Six of Swords says that you're being guided to calmer waters by an invisible hand. So your whole life's path, this whole thing that's going on, it's a gift from the universe, and there's your gift from the universe in the Page of Pentacles. I'm going to go to the book to read to you about the Page of Pentacles, but that's one of the trippiest cards in the whole mermaid deck, with the rainbow and the 3D and the hologram. All right, let's read about the Page of Pentacles from the Robin Wood Little Handbook. What a fantastic reading. Wow. I'm not looking at the chat. I don't know anything. Hang on. It's just a fun story. Page of Pentacles. A careful child. A careful child, deep concentration, scholarship news, bringer of messages, a young person who makes the seeker proud. Did somebody get a scholarship and now they're going to go to college as they were always meant to go? But it is going to leave an empty nest. I mean, that's another way to look at the story. Thanks a lot for inviting me to read, Melissa. Good luck to you. I really enjoyed the story. And I don't know anything except for the words that I said. I do see a message, Melissa, that says you live near a volcano. That is trippy. All right, let's see who's next here. How did I do this? I put these with the wrong deck. Sorry, everybody. What is going on? Oh, so Kimberly, I just happened to spot your message. Thank you very much. If you go to the description, I think the Breakaway Pay link is at the very top. And then you could also go to StarCard Podcast, the home page of the channel, and click on that description. And it has links to the 2 books and Breakaway Pay. And thank you very much for your donation. And we know what? We might as well go for you right here. It's Kimberly Bamford. We're going to go with the neon deck. Hi, Flix Love. I just saw your message. So, yeah. All right. So, for today's video, I'm going to try to do this for all of them. I got a payment link in the description. I think it's like the very first thing after my subtitle. And then it also has links to the books, and it has my email address in there also. But you can go to the StarCard Podcast, the homepage, and then if you click on the description there, the payment link is there. I appreciate your donation so much. Thank you very much. Anyway, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Let's go back downstairs, take care of Kimberly. That's right. Bringing you some California sunshine. I guess some people are experiencing a cold winter right now. Let's go to Kimberly Bamford and the neon deck. More unboxing. All right. Here's an Ace of Pentacles for you. All right, Tarot World. That was a rich and exciting story from Melissa. I know you got a good one for Kimberly Bamford. Oh, wow. My head is ringing really hard right now. That's unreal. All right, Kimberly, let's see what happens. These cards are for Kimberly. Yes, sir. I'm getting right to it. I'm talking to the Tarot World. They want me to throw those cards. Here we go. Wow, that was such a... Here we go. These cards are for Kimberly Bamford. All right, let's see what happens, Kimberly. I'm glad you're entertained also. I want to get the light right. All right, pardon me, excuse me. Here we go, Kimberly. The Two of Pentacles, multiple priorities. That's kind of cool how that guy's balancing on those bubbles. It reminds me of the movie with the X-Men when Magneto escaped from his underground prison at the Pentagon. And he used the iron from the blood of a poor victim who was a security guard to create a plate to stand on as he floated out of his jail. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie there. And then let's see what we got here. The Nine of Wands. We're gearing up for a last stand. So you might have like your, your regular day-to-day thing going on, but like it feels like you've also got something else going on, and you're using your experience. You're trying your best to manage like two things at the same time. I don't know. Whatever this is, it feels like it's been going on for a while. Yay. The good news is you have the Six of Swords. Look at that. The Six of Swords. It's the one that tells us that we are being guided from rougher waters. Let me start over there, Kimberly. We are being guided from rougher waters to calmer waters by an invisible hand. You could barely see the ghost or spirit in that boat, but it's still just a lovely image. So you got some things going on. You got an extra project. You wish it was wrapped up. Hang in there. The spirit world knows, and they're trying to set up opportunities for you to make decisions to streamline your efforts. And so the Eight of Wands says that opportunity is coming soon. So the Ace of Wands says you'll be able to make magic with the spirit world on whatever this extra thing is that's on your mind. I feel like I'm being so presumptuous here, but I'm really just kind of going with what the cards feel like right now. All right, so then we have, guess who else got a Page of Pentacles? You got a Page of Pentacles, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. So let's read about the Page of Pentacles. I think the message is you got a project that you've been nurturing, a little seedling, a little sapling that's growing. You're doing a good job of cultivating it. And not only that, but there's more to come. Let's see what the Page of Pentacles says again. Should we go? Yeah, let's go to this book instead. We'll go to this book. The Page of Pentacles. Good news is coming to you in earthly matters, such as money, business, education, career, property, or health. Be inspired. Typical tarot talk. Be inspired. You are now setting goals, laying foundations, developing a plan, manifesting. You are ambitious and diligent. You decide what you want, and you go for it and have excellent future prospects. Hey, Kimberly Bamford, isn't this some kind of pattern? Isn't this where you're at right here? You always got something on the back burner that you're cultivating and is ready to blossom right when you need it to. Isn't that how you got to this part in the first place? Right? All right. So it sounds like you're ready for a new project. You and the spirit world. We're all ready to make a transition. Good luck, Kimberly. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you very much for your donation. I mean, I appreciate it very much. It's a thought that counts for sure. Oh, thanks, Kimberly Bamford. I appreciate that. I saw your message in the chat. All right, so next up, I still have Melissa's card here and Kimberly's. Okay, hang on. Yeah, the tarot world's on fire today. Good. Let's go. I got Flixlove here. I'm not sure if Flixlove. Okay, so, hey, hang on a second. Hey, all right. Thanks a lot, Flixlove, for your message in the chat, because you were talking about the payment link. And I'm hoping that it was just a typo. The name of my LLC is Grace Magic Life. Grace Magic Life. And it's all one word. And I still capitalize the M and the L in magic and life, respectively, in the middle of that weird word. Totally something my previous ego would never do, misspell and jumble things together. But anyway, that is the name of my LLC, Grace Magic Life. And you want to guess how I came up with the name of the corporation? It was the tarot cards. It's the High Priestess, the Magician, and the Ace of Cups. All right, so let's go back downstairs. I think we're throwing for Flixlove. And Flixlove, if you didn't ask for a deck, I'm just going to pick one. All right. Yeah, I do have Namira's schoolhouse right down there. I have, that's a pretty trippy image, right? Here we go. Yeah, very good, Flix Love. Thank you. Yeah, I've got Julia and Namira and Arizona Raven and Derek all on deck there, but we'll go to Flix Love and Lisa Talcott. Lisa Talcott, because she has a soundtrack that goes with her tarot throw. All right, so that's my intended finale. Hey, Flix Love, we had fun with the mermaid deck. Let's throw some mermaid cards around. Oh, wow, okay. We were both thinking mermaid. Yay, God's Flow is here. Good morning, God's Flow. Glad you could make it. I'd be happy to throw some cards for you, God's Flow. Hey, how about we give me a chance to find God's Flow's name tag, please? There. Oh, it's right on the top. We were waiting for you, God's Flow. Okay. So let me put you in my pile. There we go. And now these cards are for Flix Love. Oh, hang in there, buddy. January's almost over, Flix Love, and then I got a little surprise for you for next month. Here we go. All right. So a fun mermaid throw for Flix Love. Fun and inspiring. I don't even have to request it. Hey, Tarot World, these are for Flix Love. You know what to do. Shoot off your fireworks. Here we go. These cards are for Flix Love. Okay. We're going to have to... I'd like to give that another shuffle. These cards are for Flix Love. Wow, that's just the way it's going to be. Okay. These cards are for Flix Love. Is there a fun, inspirational message for Flix Love? I bet there is. Come on, Tarot World. These cards are for Flix Love. Thank you. First up, it's the Six of Wands, the public recognition. Who looks like Taylor Swift in this picture singing into a microphone? Six of Wands. Everyone can see what's going on. It's all out in the open. All right. Next up, it's the Eight of Wands. Have I got that right? It's the Eight of Wands. It's happening right now. We're going viral. We're lighting it up. I know, really. Look at all the... Somebody's lighting it up, Flix Love. Everyone can see you. You're a shooting star. It's the Tower. You're breaking down all the barriers. No one expected to see your star erupt, right? Like a nova in the sky. Sweet. But then there you are. You know, that's the poster on the wall. It's a picture of Flix Love as the Queen of Cups. Let's read about the Queen of Cups. Hang on. The Queen of, that's not it. The Queen of Cups, a soft, nurturing mother figure, perhaps too protective, kind but not energetic, will help if it's not all too taxing, good insight, love, gentleness. Wow. That's a rather austere Spartan style Queen of Cups. I like the Queen of Cups because she's a lot like, the kindergarten teacher. All right. The enthusiastic grandma. Okay. She knows exactly which cookies to bake, when the grandkids are coming over. All right. Anyway, the next card is Strength. Wow. Look at you go. All right. So you're a shooting star and you're shattering the world and everyone sees just how strong of a Queen of Cups you are. And so to conclude, Flix Love, we have the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups. Wow. The Four of Wands is the homecoming and the celebration. Look, those guys got tiki torches too. And the Ten of Cups says it's a dream come true. Look at all those cups up there. Wow. That's pretty inspirational. Go for it, Flicks Love. Thanks for inviting me to read. Today's a good day to get the tarot world to pump you up. Wow. All right. Let's see who's next. Hey, God's Flow. How about a tarot throw? Let's throw these guys. Unless God's Flow has a preference, I'm going to throw these. Check it out. I guess I am throwing these God's Flow. You just got the Two of Cups when I cut. Yeah. Cool, God's Flow. I just saw your message. Again, the Two of Cups is communication with the spirit world. I think this is the deck that I'm supposed to pick for you. That's right, God's Flow. All right. All right, let's send some positive, warm light to where God's Flow is. The tarot world's going to send you a warm, inspiring message. Here we go. These cards are for God's Flow. A fun, inspiring message for God's Flow, please. Whoa. Here we go. All right. All right, God's Flow. It's all for entertainment purposes only. We're all happy to be here, pumping each other up. It's like that class in school that you liked that was fun because everyone was cool. All right. I don't know. I was just thinking myself of being in the theater troupe when I was in high school, you know. So, yay. What's the deal? The tarot world keeps starting us off with the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles talks about having multiple priorities. Lots of things going on. Yay. The Page of Cups says there's going to be a happy surprise. Or maybe whatever the new thing is that's in our lives, the extra thing we're paying attention to is actually a happy surprise. You know, we hadn't thought of it that way. Let's read about the Page of Cups. Creative opportunities, intuitive messages. Yeah, should I just stop there? Intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy surprise, dreamer, new love. All right, I got my fingers crossed. Here we go. The Seven of Pentacles, sorry, the Eight of Pentacles talks about working hard at something and refining our skills. The Eight of Pentacles, diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, and repetitive tasks. Repetitive tasks, not always everyone's favorite message. But that's how you get better. And then you go from having 8 pentacles to 9 pentacles. And then you get the fruits of your labor. Now you have a skill to sell, a product to build upon. Great. So you're being presented with a happy surprise that you can develop so as a launching point. And it's together with the Three of Pentacles. You're working on it with the spirit world. The spirit world is working with you on this. And let's read about the Three of Pentacles. It's about building something new, teamwork, collaboration, learning, and implementation. Wait a second. So I was looking at, in the picture here, you see the center, the person in the center, his face was drawing my attention. And it also looks like they're holding something there. I don't really know what they're holding. I need to look it up, but it looks like some kind of cloth. Anyway, maybe outfits, wardrobe has something to do with it. But anyway, again, you're working with the spirit world on whatever this project is, okay? You're not alone. Yeah, God's Flow. Look, it's the Wheel of Fortune card and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands says, the Four of Wands says celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, homecoming, community, okay? And the Wheel of Fortune is destiny. All right, so that's a very promising closing to this tarot story. Hey, Bam, did you know, for example, using quotation marks, just pretending here, God's Flow, Bam, did you know that you had this ability? Work at it a little bit because we're going to work on a project with you. It's part of your destiny. Get ready. It's going to be fun. All right, God's Flow. That was pretty cool. Thanks for inviting me to read. I'm really glad to see you out there. All right. Let me give these a toss. We'll go to our next contestant. God's flow. What's this? 10 of wands. It's going to be a lot of work. What else is new? That's what we're here for. Okay, next up. Hey, Julia. I think you also wanted the neon deck. So I got it right over here. These cards are for Julia. How many continents have I done today? At least 2. 3. No, 2. 3. Is there someone from down under in the chat? Anyway, let's go ahead and Julia, I just cut the deck to shuffle. I just want to show you how lovely this card is. All right. Hey, God's flow. Thanks very much for that feedback. That really helps me, refine my own skills, right? I appreciate it. Great feedback, everybody. See, it's a team effort. I'm not doing it by myself. You guys are helping to create a monster. And we should thank Matthew Morning while we're at it, and Rob Khalil. All right. So, but these cards are for Julia. Yeah, we got to thank Julia too. All right, Julia, that card popped out for you. Let's go ahead and throw some cards for Julia out in the UK. Hooray, Julia. These cards are for Julia. Wow. It's got like a little rocking horse motion. Okay. Here we go. First up, it's the 9 of Wands guy again. The 9 of Wands guy. Let's read about the 9 of... Yeah, it is 9. Let's read about the 9 of Wands guy. Nine of Wands. You are halfway through a battle, fatigued and drained of energy, but nearly there and close to success. You have resilience, courage, and strength of will. You may be guarded and wounded. You may have had setbacks, but you are gathering your strength and learning from past failures. It's nice, even when it's just the spirit world acknowledging how hard we're working. All right, next up. Yay. Let's follow that up with the 10 of Cups, the dream come true card. Well, why don't we go back to the book? Okay. And hear that same voice on the 10 of Cups. Ten of Cups, there is a sense of happiness, emotional and spiritual fulfillment, harmony and alignment in your relationships. Happy families, domestic bliss, divine love, long-term relationships, soulmates, and true contentment describe your life right now. Great. That's hard to argue with from what I see. Okay, next up. Wow, how nice. It's the 10 of Pentacles. Again, I think I got to go back to that same voice. Those are great cards. See, the Tower card took care of everything. Now look at what you got going. Ten of Pentacles, you have created wealth, financial security, and long-term success. You have built solid foundations and security, and now feel happiness in all areas of life. You may have domestic bliss, a lasting career, or a business empire. Or you may have reached relationship milestones and may be settling down. Next up, all right, then we have the 5 of Wands guys to do their little ballet, pretending to be upset about things and arguing and having different opinions. But you know what? That's part of the fun. I mean, if you really look at it, it is. It's like a ballet. It's beautiful, and people should watch it. You know, let's have all those discussions. Let's get it out in the open. And then, it's the Tower card. You know what? Let's have all those discussions, and let's break down the civilization that we're in now, because we got a better one coming at us. The Tower card. Oh boy. The 6 of Swords says, you have cheerleaders in the spirit world. You are being guided from rougher waters to calmer waters by an invisible hand. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 2 of Wands show up about having a great plan and the universe has got your back. But what is it? What do we got here? How about 7 of Wands? The universe knows that you can handle all the challenges. That's why you're on the top of the hill, and you get that beam of light from the spirit world to charge you up. Those people don't even know who they're battling with. I mean, I mean, you and I know that there's like an analog for what I just had to say. Those people don't even know who they're battling with. Okay. All right. It's kind of like in the book, The Man with Periwinkle Eyes. What's his name? The main character, Kyle Delshow, looks like a regular human, but they don't know what they're dealing with. Okay. And then here's the card that wanted to pop out. It's because it's the 10 of Wands. It's because of all your hard work, Julia. You are totally committed to everything that you set your mind to. So congratulations on this rich, exciting, dramatic life where you're drawing in lots of energy from the spirit world to help you with your mission. Sweet. Have a great week, Julia. Let's give these a toss. Let's see who's next. Yay, Namira's here. All right, Namira. I have Namira, Arizona Raven, Derek, and Lisa Talcott. All right, so Namira, flowers, ethereal bloom. All right, Tarot World, Namira's back. Such exciting messages for Namira. How about a fun, inspirational message for our friend Namira? Thank you very much. I must be doing something with my shuffling. I'm hoping that's a good sign. Whatever's going on. But these cards are for Namira. These cards are for Namira. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Namira. Thanks for inviting me to read. The Magician. The Magician. Opportunities to use talents, skill, self-reliance, originality, creativity, imagination, diplomacy. The merging of the 4 elements. And for the Magician, the 4 elements are the swords, the pentacles, the cups, and the wands. And there's another element that I learned from my aforementioned tarot teacher on YouTube. She says that there's a 5th tool, and that is the Magician himself. And the Magician is really only just waiting for the time. He's got all the tools. He knows which magic to do. He's just waiting for the time to show up. And in lots of ways, we can control time also. All right, so let's move on. What a great auspicious start with the Magician. And then the 9 of Swords shows up, and that is the sleepless nights and anxiety card. It's hard to feel anxious looking at that wonderful image, but there is the 9 of Swords. Maybe something's on our mind. And again, not to worry. The problem solver is right here. He's just waiting for the opportunity to cast the spell. And the 8 of Cups says that there's something that we need to walk away from, or that we are walking away from. Something's been bothering us. We're walking away from it. That feels like magic right there. The magic of self-care. Yeah. And then that puts you in control, doesn't it, Namira? The Emperor card says you are in control. Nice move. The Ace of Swords. And then you can carry on in your truth. And we're going to go to the book to hear about the Ace of Swords. Well, look at that lesson. Oh, boy. Okay, hang on. I'm looking for the Ace of Swords here. Yeah, look at this. Check this out. The Ace of Swords. Victory. The seeker might be a champion, hero, or leader. The birth of a valiant child may be indicated. Oh, wow. That applies, doesn't it? Attainment of power or goals. The birth of a valiant child may be indicated. But anyway, we were waiting for the time for the magic to happen. We were up late, and we had to walk away, but we're totally in control, and that makes us the winners. So the moon and the Seven of Swords show up. The moon talks about the subconscious and mystery and illusion and dreams, and the Seven of Swords. Oh, yeah. The Seven of Swords, according to this book, says the word thief. It says failure of a plan, taking something that belongs to another, unreliability, betrayal, spying, a less than honorable action. However, depending on the surrounding cards, bravery and care, and stealth. So I want to say we have a little St. Nicholas action here. Okay. While people are sleeping, someone's taking care of business. No one sees, what the magician is doing. Okay. Because no one's paying attention. But in any case, you went ahead and walked away from whatever was bothering you. It empowered you, and you were the winner. Maybe nobody saw it, okay? But it doesn't matter. Again, you're the emperor and the magician. All right, Namira, thanks a lot. Oh, I see. Yeah, we're still waiting for the magic, aren't we? The Ace of Swords coming. God bless that baby. All right. So I see a message in the chat, so I'm going to come upstairs and see if I can. There we go. So I see Flix Love's question, and someone else asked the same question. It says, Ray, do you extend personal readings to if people want that? Well, yes. So what you should do is contact me via my email address, please. And as long as we're on the subject, I don't check email every day. So just because I don't reply to you right away doesn't mean I haven't received your message. It may just mean I haven't read it yet. Okay. And we would negotiate a donation thereafter. Anyway, so there you are. But you should also know, of course, like so many other people, isn't it a good thing that there are so many psychics and tarot card throwers and people who do this kind of thing? Isn't that a good thing? Because you know what? I got things going on in my own life. And so, it would be great to do readings all the time, but I have other things I got to take care of so I can wake up and do a show for you. So anyway, if you really are interested in a personal reading, I can't promise I'll say yes. Like I say, I got a busy chock full schedule, but I'd be interested in hearing from you, right? It's all new to me. This is the ground floor for me. Let's go back downstairs to your reading. Thank you. All right. So we took care of Namira. That was exciting. I got Arizona Raven, Derek, and Lisa Talcott. So I'm going to throw, we'll go classic Robin Wood for Arizona Raven. Thank you, Kimberly Bamford. All right. So here we go. Let's throw some cards for Arizona Raven. And that one wanted to come out. Okay, I'm still going to give another toss here. All right, these cards are for Arizona Raven. Oh, okay. Are those the two? You got one from the Mermaid deck. All right. I wonder why those two are there. How interesting. I'm just going to pull one more here because we got some cards to look at. We got some other cards dropping in from another universe here from the Mermaid deck. This is going to be a novel reading, Arizona Raven. All right. So first of all, let's look at the Mermaid cards. It's the Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. Wow, that's great. Now I understand why these cards are put aside. So the Nine of Pentacles says the fruits of your labor. The Two of Wands says you have a good plan. Go for it. Okay. You've been saving up. You've already got it planned out. Go for it. And then here comes the glossary for that message. The Queen of Wands, courage, determination, zest for life. Yeah. Beautiful. Wow. I really like the Queen of Wands. The Ten of Swords talks about the end of a painful episode. Looks like it was pretty painful. Wow. And then you got the Magician card. So we start off determined, and then we overcome all these problems and painful episodes, and now we're even more magical, right? Because again, all our ducks are lined up in a row, and we got a great plan. You really have a long-term view. I wonder if the Eight of Pentacles might show up. Well, we got the Four of Pentacles and the Strength. So the Four of Pentacles, what's my new expression now? Prizing what shines. So prize what shines, and the Strength card says exclamation point. Hold on to what's precious. That's all that matters. Great, Arizona Raven. And thanks for inviting me to read. I appreciate it. I'm going to give these a toss and then toss these cards. And I haven't seen Derek since the beginning of the show. I don't want to be forward, but I would still like to throw some cards for him. All right, so hey, Derek, I'm going to just throw... I'm going to throw 5 cards for you, Derek. You know, it's all for entertainment purposes only. Take what resonates and leave what does not. But you know what? You were one of the very first people, Derek. This is true, everybody. You're asking about personal readings. Derek, I think, was like the very first person to ever ask me for a private reading after he caught me on Typical Skeptic podcast, right when I learned tarot. So thanks a lot, Derek. That's why I'm so excited to throw for you and Desiree. Let's see what's going on. Hey, thank you, Arizona Raven. I appreciate that message. Oh, this card's bent. I might have to get a new deck. Not really. I don't know what card it is. But clearly it wanted to come out right there. These cards are for Derek and Woo Rider. Oh, you got 2 more. I wasn't going to throw so many, Derek. I'm happy to do it, though. First up. That's not the card I wanted to throw for Derek. It's the 3 of Swords. It's the heartache card. The good news is that we're getting it out of the way. It's the first card. We're moving it out of the way. Next up, we move it out of the way, and then we're in the position of the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles says, nurturing, practical, providing financially, a working parent. Next up, the 4 of Swords talks about rest and meditation. Let's see, the 4 of Swords, rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation, retreat, renewal, and solitude. I hope everyone's of good health and body and mind and spirit at your home, Derek. The 8 of Wands indicates travel, indicates something happening really soon. Could even indicate flight. Ooh, and then the Death card shows up and says there's endings, there's beginnings, and there's transformations. So we start the story where the working parent, I don't know, what did you have to pay for some kid's uniform at school or something? But then, you know what, the next day, we see that a new change is happening right away. Maybe, I mean, just going with that example, that fun example I'm coming up with, maybe that kid, now that they got the uniform for the team, now they're starting practices, they're becoming part of a team, and they're starting to grow in various ways. I wonder what these cards say. Wow. So I expect to see the High Priestess with Derek, and I'm going to read the High Priestess so that everyone can hear. The High Priestess, intuition, sacred knowledge. That's Derek. Sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, and high morals. It was definitely the right thing to do. You know, maybe you had to take 1 step backward, but this is like 3 or 4 steps forward with this new change, because the 4 of Wands says celebration and joy. So you were right to follow your instinct. And then the 7 of Cups says you have all kinds of opportunities now. So that's great. Or all kinds of doors are going to be open. Well, I hope you had a good time hearing the story, Derek. Have a good one. Good to see you again. Appreciate it. And now Am I really down to my last one? Is it the Lisa Talcott show? All right. How am I doing on time? Ooh, it's a long show today. Wow. I hope I didn't bore anybody. Here we go. Lisa Talcott. Yeah, oh, she had to ask for the slippery deck. Here, it's a good thing she did. Here we go. All right. I really do think that this is going to be the last throw. Great. Okay. So she's got the music. And I'm going to shuffle these, get my advertising set up here. All right, Tarot World, time to make the magic happen. Like Meadowlark Lemon with a no-look pass to Curly Neal. Let's inspire and have fun and get a great message for Lisa Talcott. Here we go. These cards for Lisa Talcott. These cards are from Lisa Talcott. Keeping them together. Oh, look, they didn't even go. All right, there you go, Lisa. There's your first 3 cards. Okay. Put one here. Put them there. That one. And that one. And this one wants to come out too. All right. And now you may cue the music. I'm closing my eyes. I'm moving them all around. It's Sweet Georgia Brown, the theme music to the Harlem Globetrotters, everybody. That's the music we're listening to. Okay. All right, so let's check out this message for Lisa Talcott. I'm going to get the light nice. All right, Lisa. So we got the Hermit card. We're doing soul searching. Okay. Only we can see what we can see. No one else is around. No one else has the light. You're falling into a portal. You're falling into, self-reflection. What's the deal? What's my life's path? Am I on the right path still? I'm just joking. Of course, you already know you are. Okay, but it's soul searching, searching for meaning. And the Queen of Swords says, you were right. Okay, so am I on the right path? Yeah, you're right. Am I doing the right thing? Yeah, you're right. Okay. If it doesn't feel that way, the Hangman says, look at things differently then. Look at it in such a way that, yes, you do see that you were right the whole time. Was it fun the whole time? No, it was not fun the whole time. Was it supposed to be fun the whole time? Probably not. Maybe on some other planet, not surface planet Earth. So just in case I'm right, in case you're doing soul searching and you're not sure if you were right, the Tarot World says you were, and you just need to use your telepathy to figure out their point of view, their perspective. So the Tarot World says, take a nap, meditate on it. 4 of Swords, meditate on it. You'll figure it out. And then the Ace of Cups says you will realize, that your cup overflows. Okay, you're filled with life and love. I know. I feel like I'm talking to myself here. I'm so blessed. I have so many wonderful things, and yet I always wish, maybe things should have been a little bit different. I like to quote my grandfather, who made the hilarious tautology, a philosophical statement. He said, if things were different, things would be different. Well, guess what? It's a rich, beautiful life. All right, next up. The 2 of Swords says, we're at a crossroads. We have a decision to make. We don't feel like we have all the information. We feel like our eyes are blindfolded. Okay, but we do have all the tools we need to take any action necessary. So check this out. What is this? The Knight of Swords showing up upside down. Are we unsure about moving forward? Now watch Breakaway Ray make his magic happen. I'm going to turn this card right side up. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Lisa Talcott. Ride on. Because you are the magician. Yay, you're making things happen. Longest live tarot throw ever. Thank you very much for inviting me to read, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great week. You know, we got quite a lot of content in this program today. I'm not sure I'm coming out tomorrow. I got some stuff I got to take care of. Hey, this is the best 2 hours of my day. I'm going to turn off the camera and go cry now. I'm just kidding. Thanks for making my day. I'm Breakaway Ray. Have a good one. I'm going to go read the chat. That's going to be fun. Thanks, everybody. See you later.